All right, Emily, we need sound. Give sound here. Emily Gollmer, report to YouTube. We need sound. There we go. The host would like to unmute you.
It should fill us with humble joy and excitement to know that I've got a partner working in me, with me, against this flesh that plagues me. And if that doesn't humble me, then I need to go back to step one. And I need to start all over again and admit and just go through it again. And yeah, I will be right there with you, regardless of how many times we relapse or whatever you want to call it. Relapse, backslide, pick a word. So long as you're keeping yourself close to Yah, it's not going to be the wrong word. I guess I'll be starting over again. Because I know I know where I fall short. I know where I've fallen short, and sometimes I walk far too close to the shadows to feel like I should actually be conversing with you in this manner tonight. So, hallelujah. With that, I am going to open it up for caring and sharing. After a bit of a brief respite, because you don't want to keep hearing me all night long, we will be back after this.
Forgive me now, 'cause I have been unfaithful. Don't ask me why, 'cause I don't know. So many times I tried, but was unable. This heart belongs to you alone. Now I'm in a secret place, alone in your embrace, where all my wrongs have been erased. You have forgiven all the promises of life, all the times I compromised, all the times you were denied. You have forgiven. Forgive me, I'm ashamed. I've loved another. I can't explain 'cause I don't know. No one can take your place, and there is no other better. Forever yours and yours alone. Now I'm in a secret place, alone in your embrace, where all my wrongs have been erased. You have forgiven all the promises of life, all the times I compromised, all the times you were denied. You place, alone in your embrace, where all I want to be. You have forgiven all the promises and all the times that come from all the times you were denied. You have forgiven.
Okay, Scott. Yeah. All right. Just wanted to let you guys all know that I had an extra job added to my many jobs, and that was to diligently do, because I'm pretty tech savvy. I've been a webmaster for 20 years. I'm pretty good with getting accounts restored, working with tech support people, working through things. And I have racked my brain. I have read so many tutorials, my eyeballs are falling out. I have gone to so many help center pages, and I want you guys to know that an investigative team has already investigated Facebook and their customer service. And I just need to alert you all, I really am making this as a major, that every one of us, we switch to our own network and we get, Scribe and I had a social network. We had one, and our platform got sold, and a lot of things happened. But three times we put it up, and we had 40,000 new people enrolling a day at one point. 40,000. Okay, so we know a lot about social networking and social media marketing and social media advertising. I've been paid to put ads and run ads and build people's businesses to the tune of $300, $400, $500 a month, as a residual per account. And I only had to do about less than 10 minutes worth of work each day for those accounts. Sometimes I do a little more, but it averaged out to about 10 minutes of work a day, and I would get about $500 a month. So I've done this as a profession, as well as been a technical consultant, and I'm considered a social media expert by many people out there. This is really sad news to have to play this, but it's a 3-minute clip that I want you all to listen to. And I want you to ask yourself if they deserve to continue to make billions of dollars when this is how they take care of your personal information, your pictures, your communication with family, your communication with friends, and everything else. This is an investigative team that investigated the same hacking situation that Scribe went through, the same situation now that 3 of my 4 accounts have gone through. And I thought that I was going to get in, only to find out, no, there is absolutely no way to get in. And there's absolutely no way to even communicate an email or a chat or anything to Facebook. Everything is run by artificial intelligence. These are robots that you're communicating with, and they do not know how to listen to the logic of, hey, I got all these people, friends of mine. Marissa got asked for $5,000. My wife got asked, numerous ministers that I know around the world have been asked for money by my Rock Rice account. You guys need to understand that I've now wasted thousands of dollars of my time trying to restore Scribe's account and my account. And it is seeming as though I'm coming to the conclusion that there just is no way because these investigators, they're pros too, and they've investigated Facebook only to find they could not get anything done. So I'm going to play this little clip, and hopefully, I think you can get it from listening to audio. Oh boy. Great. Rissa, it's not allowing me to have access for some reason. This happens once in a while. It says that the password's been changed. Can you just go to the broadcaster and see the top brand new upload that I just put in, please? Yes, click on that, please.
Hacker locked you out of your Facebook account, and the social media company would not help you get back in.
2 different KSL viewers decided it was time to call KSL consumer investigator Matt Gephardt after it happened to them. And Matt, you've been looking into it.
Yeah, Mike Dini, you know, a lot of people use Facebook as a primary way of communicating, right? The platform has everything from its own instant messaging system as well as a way to let your loved ones know that you're okay when maybe there's an emergency and other forms of communication get knocked out. But one thing Facebook seems to be lacking is customer service, at least according to people who called the KSL investigators. Loisos was locked out of his Facebook account after a hacker got in. And the first thing the hacker did was change the email address tied to the account. So every time Chris tries to reset the password and get back in, that reset email goes to the hacker. Chris is stuck. And try as he might, he cannot connect with an actual human being at Facebook to help him out. I found that Facebook has virtually no mechanism to help people in that situation whatsoever.
Because I started scamming my friends, all my friends.
It is the exact same story for Jackie Cooley of St. George.
I tried everything I could think of to get my Facebook back.
Add Chris and Jackie to the chorus of people from whom the KSL investigators have heard complaining that Facebook's customer service is severely lacking. We've reported on individual users.
Someone has stolen, impersonated Gardner Village's account.
As well as businesses that rely on Facebook to communicate with customers. It's always the same complaint. I tried to contact Facebook.
Even customer service didn't help me.
And they said, we can't help you.
Now, for its part, Facebook has gone to work when the KSL investigators have contacted the company's public relations people, trying to either get people back into their accounts or get those cloned accounts shut down. But surely there's got to be a better way to get issues resolved than contacting a TV station, right? Facebook did not comment directly for this story, but a spokesperson pointed to a handful of links that offer customer support, specifically this one, facebook.com/hacked. One thing that some people do when they're locked out is try to reset their password, which doesn't work because the reset goes to the bad guy. But there's a completely different set of steps that a user can take when they're actually hacked. They just have to know to take those steps. I hope that the public is made aware that if they get hacked, Facebook is not going to help them. As for Chris and Jackie, after our calls to Facebook, the social media giant is now taking steps to try to help them both get back in. And as we reported earlier this month, that scam page pretending to be Gardner Village was shut down after our calls. Now, Facebook sent me a bunch of links for people to try depending on the nature of their problem. I've attached them to this story on our website. But one thing Facebook did not offer and does not seem to have is a customer service phone number for people to get through when those links might just do not work.
Kind of leaves you in the dark, though, and that's frustration for a lot of customers out there who want to physically talk to somebody.
Yeah. Well, and if you think about back to the Bell company, other stuff like that, you know, these are the way people communicate, and they had to answer to somebody. Facebook really doesn't, except to the public who maybe choose to cancel their accounts or what have you. But people are using it as a way to communicate and are struggling to get through to Facebook, the communication giant.
Yeah. All right. Now we know. Thanks, Matt.
All right. So I made this announcement some time ago that we're dealing with a company that was started by a cyber criminal. Mark Zuckerberg is a criminal. He is a lawless person. Watch the movie, The Social Network. If you have not watched it, watch the movie, The Social Network. It tells the true story of how Facebook got started. And this little weasel, this little worm that is a multi-billionaire today, he literally screwed over his best friend. So it would be like me becoming a billionaire in hey whatever and cutting out Scribe and saying, no, any of your efforts that you put forth to try to help me to get this company off the ground, forget it. I don't care about you. You suck. You're out. You don't get no stock. You don't get nothing in the company. See ya. Hit the road, buddy. And that's what he did to his best friend. He completely screwed him over. And I do not like this man ever since I watched that movie. It was a wake-up call for me to kind of see whether the persons that, you know, were involved in getting it started. And that wasn't the only guy he screwed over to get to the top. The very software and ideas and different things that were used, he stole that. Now, this story is not an uncommon story because that was the same lawlessness that came in with Bill Gates. Bill Gates screwed over IBM. And then after screwing over IBM and stealing software from them, he screwed over Apple. And I'm just, here to tell you, IBM would be way bigger than Microsoft if he wouldn't have taken that. IBM would be a way bigger name. And in fact, back in the day, back years ago, they were called the Big Blue, and they were the big dog when it came to technology. And Bill Gates basically dethroned them. And this man is as evil as they get. And if you start looking into the voter fraud and the election fraud and all of this kind of stuff, both Gates and Zuckerberg are a big part of why Joe Biden is in the presidency today, as well as why Donald J. Trump is still not the president, because he's supposed to be. There is no way, with all the evidence that I have been researching and Sam has been researching and that we have in our hands already, there is no way that Joe Biden won that election. And I believe not only was there the physical fraud that Mark Zuckerberg sold your personal information. You might say, well, I use Facebook for free. He didn't take no money from me. Yes, he did. He sells your personal information. Everything you do on Facebook is being tracked, and they sell it to marketing companies. That's why when you're on your Facebook timeline and you start showing any kind of interest in anything, if you all of a sudden show an interest in King James Bibles, guess what? There's going to be Bible software and Bible things that are going to start popping up on the Facebook timeline to try to tempt you to buy it. Why? Because they sold all of that. They have everything tracked and everything planned for you guys. So that's why I put this investigative report onto our line. And that's why I'm making an announcement as an overseer of all of you, because I'm supposed to look out for you guys. We have got to get away from that platform. I still have one account. My goal from here forward is going to be to have every one of my people that I'm friends with that really give a crap to have a wake-up call like I did. And I'm just going to keep sending out information to people because they already throttle down who I'm communicating with. The only way I can really get directly to somebody is to go into their messenger and have a conversation. And they need to know it's the real me, which they might not think it's the real me now after this guy's acted like, he was me and asked all my friends for money. So I'm really in an uncomfortable place, a compromised place, but I want to continue social friendships. I want to be able to have a virtual social relationship. I can't drive out to Virginia. I can't drive out to Florida. I can't drive out to Pennsylvania. I can't drive out to New York City. I can't drive out to California constantly to get with all these people. The power of social media is having relationships with people all over the place and being able to share your life with them. And this is not a safe environment to do that. This guy doesn't care about us. He does not care about us. And he proved that by screwing over his own best friend. Please watch the Social Network movie and see how evil this man, Mark Zuckerberg is, and know who you're investing yourself with. All the time that you spend on there thinking that it's something great, it's a deception from the devil. And I wish I would have never fell for it myself to stay there as long as I have and invest as much time as I have. All my groups, I got almost 20 ministry groups, 20. I wish I would have put them somewhere else. I wish I would have invested that time somewhere else. But at the time, they seemed to be the only real show in town. Likewise, I would stay away from TikTok if I was you. I'm telling you, it's owned by the Chinese. And I believe Zuckerberg and Gates and all these people, they are totally cool with doing business with China because it's more billions for them. It's more billions for them. If they sell secrets to China, and I don't think they care, and Google has already proven it. So we got away from Google as well, and we're struggling right now in our relationship with Google because I want to move the ministry away from there too. Because right now, we got a free platform. Yeah, well, is it really going to be worth it? If when the United States military wanted to work with Google and they denied working with the United States military so they could work with China. This is getting really, really end times freaky, bad stuff, you guys. And I just wanted to put that out there. I know it was right before all of you were ready to share, but I'm not trying to take away from the topic. It is the seventh step. So if we look at the seventh step and we are supposed to turn away and turn in an opposite direction, then I think an appropriate message to add to everything that Scribe's already shared is it's time for us to turn away from Facebook and turn in an opposite direction towards social networks that are righteous, social networks that are in alignment with our faith and with what we believe. TrumpSocial.com. Go to TrumpSocial.com. Please get an account and start communicating there. You will be able to join, follow me, I'm in there as Rev Rock. You can follow Rev Rock. Okay. And we can share information from credible sources. We can know that it's going to be faith-based conservative voices that are speaking out righteousness, and they're speaking against what's going on in the government. They're speaking against big tech like Facebook. It's all in there. These guys have been attacked already by all of them to try to stop them. They work against them with servers because, Amazon is also a very compromised. We won't buy from Amazon. We're distanced away from them as well. So Amazon owns a lot of the servers that are out there. Google owns a lot of the servers that are out there. So you got to realize that even as Trump was trying to put up a network, they were very limited as to their options of how to fight against this. And they've done it. And I'm glad that he's a billionaire. And I'm glad that he could fight back with some of his own money and invest his own money to be able to do something different and better. And so we have TrumpSocial.com. We also have Bible.com, you guys. Get an account with Bible.com. That will keep you in the Word. It will keep you in with people that want to be in the Word. Believe me, satanic people aren't joining Bible.com. You don't find them in there. There's none of this crap that you see on Facebook that's a waste of your life and it's a waste of your time. You don't find that in Bible.com. All you find is people sharing their faith. And there's a lot of studies that are in there and resources that are in there. Now, it's a lot of Christianese, and it's not necessarily all of the doctrines of, it's doctrines of men. It's not the doctrines that we believe necessarily, but it's a heck of a lot better than anything else out there. And there's no Hebrew Roots Network besides the Lou White one, and you got to pay for that. And I'm a part of it, but it's really generic, and he just doesn't have the money to put together a decent one, obviously, because it's pretty generic. But Lou's got some good material, a lot better than most Christian churches have. So I do like Lou White. I have a couple of his books here. The one on witchcraft is one that really caught Marissa's eyes, or Hahava as her new name is. So, it's a time of change right now. It's a time when Hahava is changing her name, and Jennifer is changing her website address. I mean, her physical address of where she lives. We're doing a lot of changes in what we're all doing with real estate and how things are, happening. We're changing our transportation. We're changing, a lot of things. So everybody needs to realize that change sometimes, if it's embraced and you do it wisely, it can be a very positive thing. So your love affair or addiction that you've had with Facebook, which I've been guilty of, I'm just going to tell you, it's not worth investing your time into. It's really not. You're going to see me on there mostly putting stuff out about how evil Facebook is. And I'll be doing a lot of that through private messaging. And I'm going to be encouraging them exit strategies of TrumpSocial.com, as well as Bible.com. But there are a couple other ones. One is called Zapit. That's Xapit, I believe. That one is also by conservative people, and they promise that they will never sell your information. Okay? So you can get involved in a few of them, and you can meet new friends and add a lot of new friends. I have a lot of people that I've never physically met that I did meet in the cyber world. And I feel like I know them. I feel like I'm very close to them. Okay. But I also have been reunited with a lot of people I went to high school with. Okay. A lot of people that I knew from my childhood, from the several different schools that I had gone to. A lot of people that I worked with at different places. Okay. It is a great way to communicate if it's safe. But if it's not safe, it's not a great way to communicate. It's a very dangerous way to communicate. So, to Google's Plus, I will say this. Google Plus came out and it failed. They had a social network. Google had one. But the positive thing I can say about Google is I've never had one account with Google that's ever been hacked. Never been hacked on Google. Now, Microsoft, on the other hand, their old messenger chat programs, they had a back door that was so wide open that a semi could have drove into it. They were a hacking machine. And guess who has major stock in Facebook? Microsoft. Guess who both cyber criminals are? That, the protege of Bill Gates, the cyber thief, the cyber theft, the criminal. Guess who his protege is? Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook. I'm telling you, I made a big mistake, and I want to apologize to all of you for doing it. I should never have invested so much of my life into that place, because I think of all that time that I put in over the years, 20 years, all that time that I put in. Think of if I would have put them in a better place. And I don't know that there was one. Okay, so that's the mystery right now. I don't think there was one, because Bible.com, it never used to be a social network, and they've turned it into one. It started out, it was YouVersion Bible, okay, and you could download an app, but then eventually they became so popular that they bought Bible.com as a domain, and that's what now YouVersion Bible is. And a lot of you use that with the Scriptures 2009. It's free. It's a lot better version than King James and the rest. So, I just wanted to throw that out there again. And I thank you for letting me make this public service announcement. I think it was timely. considering, Scribe is probably grieving because he's still got friends being contacted weeks later. Can you imagine this? Weeks later, he has still got friends being asked for money, pretending to be him, and Facebook's doing nothing about it. And identity theft is rising so fast in this country. But you know what? Nobody has anything in an identity theft company that actually protects your social media. Not that I'm aware of. And we sell one through David Allen Capital. We sell a $7.95 a month ID theft program. And I don't believe in all the time that Sam and I have had that program, I don't believe that we've ever been shown any way to protect our data that's on Facebook. So pretty sad because these ID theft companies now are making all this money, but they're not really protecting one of the most primary places that people have used. Millions and millions and hundreds of millions. I think it's now billions of people that are on Facebook. And identity theft companies don't even protect you. You give them money every month to be your protection, and they don't protect your Facebook account. It's pretty lame. So I think if you're like me, you hear lots of opportunities there, and you ask yourself, how can I become an expert in this area, and how can I team up with whatever, or should I say whatever technology, or whatever tech? How can I get with these guys to try to create a product that's better than everybody else? I'm going to just tell you, it takes a lot of money, okay, to put all that together, to create all of that, and a lot of time. And right now we've got way too many projects that I have to take care of. So if someone was to bring something to me that was turnkey and it was all set and ready to go, I'd sell the poop out of it. I'd sell it, no problem. But to develop it from the ground up, it's going to take a big investment. Now, it's something after I make several million more, I may be poised to do it, but it may cost a lot more than several million. I may have to invest a lot more than that to start going down this road. Okay? So keep that in mind, that it's not as easy as what you think. If it was, everybody'd be doing it, right? And if it was as hard as it was for Trump to set up a social network without having to be in bed with all of these big tech giants, then think how hard it might be for you. It's not going to be easy, but I believe eventually it will be done. So hallelujah. And Dan Bongino is at the cutting edge. The other thing is stop using YouTube and start shifting all your energy to Rumble. And if you're going to upload your personal videos, upload them for free into Rumble, which is owned by conservative people that are connected with Trump, and they are believers and they have faith, and they're the kind of people you want to trust with your personal videos, not Google. And everybody's been trusting Google, and they've become the biggest television network of that type as the same thing. And the question you have to ask yourself is, are we equally yoked with these people? The equally yoked message in the scriptures does not just apply to a husband and a wife. It applies to who you're in business with. Am I equally yoked with this person? Biggest problem that I had with getting whatever as a company off the ground was I couldn't find partners, and I knew I couldn't do it alone. So I compromised my standard of excellence that I wanted in people, and I let people into my inner circle that I should have never allowed into my inner circle. And as a result, my identity was stolen from whatever. And in my own company, I lost several $1 million. I mean, literally, my computer was stolen. Literally, all my domains, about 200 domains were stolen. Okay. And I could not prove to GoDaddy that I owned all my domains. I couldn't prove it. My account was taken over And this wasn't a mysterious hacker from Nigeria through the internet. This was real people that I allowed to help run my company who screwed me over. Okay. So you guys need to realize identity theft is not a joke. This is not something little. This is something that totally threw my life into the toilet. And after that situation, if you don't understand it, I ended up homeless again. I ended up homeless after that when I lost several $1 million. I ended up sleeping in Scribe's porch. That's where I begged him if I could have a place to stay because I ended up homeless again. Okay. And I was homeless when I did drugs, but it's real embarrassing when you're clean for 20 years and you end up homeless. Okay. I ended up going to jail, falsely accused. All right. And when it finally got to the rubber meeting the road after 100 days of sitting in jail, the entire case got thrown out. It got thrown out of court because they didn't have any evidence of me doing any wrongdoing. That's why. So I want you guys to really wake up to the fact that there are some real evil people out there. And they want to get you, just like they've wanted to get me. They want to get you. You might say, well, I don't have any money anyway, so what are they going to get? They can destroy you. They can tell lies about you. They can say that, you know, you did this or you did that. And now, instead of, this is what I found out about our justice system, instead of it being innocent until proven guilty, that's not how it works anymore. You're guilty until proven innocent because everybody wants to believe you did it just because you got accused of it. And that sucks. I'm going to tell you, that is a horrible, horrible thing because according to what we know in Proverbs, your name is a very precious thing. That's why, you know, Ahava changing her name from Marissa to Ahava, this is a very precious thing because it says your name is really, really important. In other words, not just your physical name like Ahava, I'm talking about your reputation and everything centered around your name. My name was in the front page of the Sheboygan Press with this accusation, this lie that I was being accused of. I was never charged. I was never formally charged. But I was on the front page on the 10 most wanted list for the county that I was born in, the county I grew up in, where all the people knew my name. And I was already famous because as a drug addict, I bled to death and I died behind a bar in a little town of about 600 people called Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Now I think they have 1,000 people. All these years later, now they got 1,000 residents, but back then it was 600. Do you think in a small town, the word gets out when you die? And you went to one of the only, 4 churches in town, and you went to a church in town that had about 200 members of the 600 people that lived in town. Everybody knew me, is my point. And I was very well known in Sheboygan County. Sheboygan itself is a city. Plymouth as a city. Howard's Grove. I mean, on and on and on. Everybody knew me. I was a marketing professional. I was a salesperson. I had 13,000 business owners as my clients in the 1990s. From 1992 to 1995 with the National Federation of Independent Business, the largest small business organization in the country, I had 13,000 business owners, which included Sargento Cheese. It included Kohler Company, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You guys, your name is a precious thing. And I don't want people thinking that you're going around and asking people for money. I mean, what about the people that had me asked, my name was now asked, Rock Rice asked you for $5,000, Rock Rice asked you for $10,000, Rock Rice asked you for $1,000, Rock Rice asked you for $2,500. What about the people that haven't called me or messaged me and told me? They're sitting back with a question mark in my mind. Wow, he's at it again. You know, he's at it again. Try to rip people off again. Try to screw people over. That's what they're thinking. It sounds really bad. Right? So I know Emily got contacted by the guy today. And she asked me, she wrote me a thing, you know, and it's like, don't give this guy any codes or he will be in your account next. That's how it works. He's going to get a conversation going with you. He's going to get inside your head. He's going to get you thinking that he's trying to help me. That's what I did. He sucked me in, making me think that he was going to try to help me get Scribe's account back, and I believed him, and that's why I gave him codes. That's how it happened. So don't fall for it, I'm telling you, because once he gets in your account, you ain't going to get it back. We figured this out. Facebook is not going to give you your account back. They're going to let somebody ruin your reputation out there with a lot of people. Now, it might not be a big deal to you, but I have upwards of over 100,000 people of influence. If this guy gets into some of these groups have 18,000 people in some of these Hebrew groups, the Hebrew roots groups that I'm an administrator for. If he gets in there, starts contacting those people as Rock Rice, and goes ahead and starts asking them for money, all my Bible groups, think about it. If he gets in my groups, it's not even just my friends. I got 5,000 friends in one account. I got 3,000 in another, and about another 2,000 in another. I got that. So that's only about 10,000 people. That's no big deal. But think about the groups and add those all up. And we're talking over 100,000 people could be getting contacted by a Facebook hacker, scammer, pretending he's me asking for money. You guys need to know that could happen to you too. And please don't send the guy no money. Don't feel sorry for him. He's going to give you his broke story that he's broke and he's living in, Nigeria, and they don't have no jobs there, and that's why he's doing what he's doing. He told me all this stuff. So he, in a way, had me duped and feeling sorry for him. If the guy gets $10,000 from one person, $10,000 in Nigeria is like $100,000 here because of the difference between the dollar. And the dollar value is going down right now because of Biden, but it's still worth a lot more than other people's currencies. So you guys need to be smart. Remember, gentle as a dove, wise as a serpent. I'm really working on the wise as a serpent part with you all here because I know most of you are not nearly as tech savvy as I am. You've never built your own website. You've never, set up a server. You've never, developed a control panel and, implemented and done, data entry into the data administration or system administration of running, different programs in the back of the website. None of this kind of stuff. Autoresponders, the majority of you wouldn't even want to do it. It doesn't even interest you. Okay? And I get that. But you need to realize the evil is out there. And I think closing the door on Facebook is a very smart thing for all of us. and we can move on and be somewhere else and communicate somewhere else and bring as many of your friends that aren't my friends, bring them along with you. You know, let them know the story that I just told you as to why you're leaving. And you know what? A lot of people have already left Facebook because of what Zuckerberg did during the last presidential election. And now that this election's coming up and they just don't even want to be a part of it. They do not want to be part of it. The way that Facebook handled COVID, we know that they were in with the drug companies because all COVID was a way for pharmaceutical companies to get very, very, very rich. And it was a complete deception on the American people. No one needed to get one vaccination, let alone 2 or 3 or 4. These people are scammers. And our president, non-president, our fake president, Joe Biden, was totally in bed with these drug companies. COVID was a lie. It wasn't any worse than a bad cold that could lead to pneumonia, especially if your immune system was weak and you were up in age. And when you're up in age, it usually is, and you can get pneumonia a lot easier when you're up in age. So that's why those people, whatever this cold was, this flu was, because it had flu symptoms, it had cold symptoms, but that's all it was. It was nothing that you needed to take a vaccine. It was something you needed to do to make sure that you boosted your immune system with some natural products and your body would fight it off. Just like any kind of common cold or any kind of common flu that comes at you, your body will fight these things off naturally. You did not need a vaccine. And obviously it backfired on because the vaccines didn't work anyway. And now we're finding out that a lot of people that got the vaccines are very, very sick. And many, many weird problems are happening because they put things in people's bodies that they should have never put in there. This is all part of the Facebook scam. Facebook would not allow anybody to say anything bad about vaccinations. If you put it on there, it says our fact checkers have checked and you need to go to the CDC. Yeah, the CDC was also part of the scam. So, wake up. Big money is running the world. And what does the scripture say? You cannot love Yahweh and Mammon, which is really a spirit of greed is what it means. You cannot love that spirit of greed and Yahweh at the same time. Either you love one or you love the other, but you can't love both. So you better stop loving Zuckerberg because Zuckerberg and Facebook is a spirit of greed. All the way. It's all part of that spirit of greed. And it is as evil can get. And with that, I will bring it on back to my partner who did this. Mr. Pratt. Wow, did I put Scrub to sleep or what? Maybe he's on mute.
Rock, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, my phone completely shut down in part of your talk. I wonder if his did.
Oh,
I had to call back in.
yeah, so Emily is chatting right now. After I said no, that I wasn't sending $5,000, he asked how much I could help this guy. He said he was going to pay me back $6,000. So that's what Emily said. Yami, can you hear me in telling you that about Emily?
Just now I did. Yeah, I had to call back in a second time though. It shut completely down my whole phone.
Oh, well, Ahava says that her phone's fine. So I don't know what's going on with yours. Never quite really know what's going on with your phone, Yami. So you are the scariest hacker trap that there is. I mean, I'll be honest with you, the way you are with technology, I would stay off of Facebook for sure, because you're like, I mean, this guy is waiting to send you. If he finds out of all my stuff, if he finds the right account, because I think you have like 12 Facebook accounts now, because you keep forgetting your passwords or whatever you're doing. I don't even know. But when I look and I type in Jamie Cook, there's like 12 different Jamie Cooks with your pictures that come up. So I don't know how many of those are even real accounts. Some of them might have been hacked accounts. I know some of them I've communicated with, but this really applies to you probably more than anybody, Yami, and that is get off of Facebook. Don't even spend another second there. It is not for you. The evil is going to get you if you don't get off. I'm warning everybody right now. If they can hack somebody as wise about technology as me, they can get any of you like that. They're because the next scammer might not use the same methods, and he'll get you. So I don't know what happened to Scribe either, but he's not responding.
Okay, I got on Facebook this note saying I've already got every one of your friends. There's only one left. And I'm sure he's referring to me.
No, he's talking to me about me. I mean, what he's trying to say is he's already got 3 of my 4 accounts. There's only one left that he hasn't gotten, and he's not going to get it. Because he's already tried, and there's no way he can get it, because none of you have access to my emails or my phone. So yeah, but he will get yours, making you think that you're going to help him or you're going to be his buddy, and he he's going to try to get my accounts back to me. He's going to play the same game with you that he did with me with Scribe, because he's going to find out that you guys are in ministry, and you'll start saying stuff like Yahweh's going to get you for this if you don't repent, and then all of a sudden say, oh, I can see, this is what he did to me. I can see you are really a good man, and I can see that you really love Scott. And I want to tell you that I am so sorry, and I would ask if you would pray for me. I mean, he just went, it was thick. Wow. And then he said, I want to help you get his account back. And I said, okay, great. And then he kept trying to get me to do it, and I was too busy, and I kept putting it off. And then finally I said, okay, let's do it. Let's get his account back. And then that's when I started falling for it. And I started sending him codes. And I don't know why I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Send anybody, but I just deleted it. I didn't read any.
It doesn't help. That's not helping. You would have been better off, instead of deleting it, you'd have been better off to report it. But what I just shared with you is, even if you reported it, it's not going to help.
Okay. Okay, just don't use Facebook.
Right. We all got to get off of Facebook. That's the point. And you never seem to have an account, Yami, that lasts longer than 3 months anyway. So you do something to self-destruct. So you never really create a presence. You never really create a group of friends. You come and you go, and it just, you're just not really good with social media or any kind of technology. It doesn't work for you in the past. Now you can try to get on Bible.com. I think that would be a much more fun program for you anyway. And I think you'd meet a lot better friends on Bible.com than you would on Facebook. That's why I'm recommending it.
Can you hear me?
Rock, now I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, I was, for whatever reason you couldn't, I was unmuted on both the app and the phone. So I don't know what the deal was, but I did call back in.
Pretty bizarre.
Pretty bizarre.
So anyway, I will hand it back to you and you can run with it. I hope you heard everything I said.
I heard most of it except for when I was calling back in. Just a little bit more on this. Rock is absolutely serious about what he was saying. Okay, as far as being on the front page and stuff like that. There was an acquaintance of Rock's that frequents Imogene's on a kind of infrequent basis that asked about Rock. Probably about 2-3 weeks ago now. Rock, are you still there?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, you do. That detective?
What?
That detective?
Yeah,
The one from Sheboygan?
yeah.
He asked about you.
He asked about me.
He asked him about you, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
What did he ask?
Yeah, he asked if we were still in contact with you, how you're doing, is he still out there? And it's like, yeah, he's doing fine. He's, he never did anything wrong. Yeah.
And what did the guy say then?
Oh. Yeah, he played dumb.
Yeah, that's Barney Fife that he's talking about right now. The guy is like a wannabe detective. He's never had any fame in Sheboygan County as being anybody that has ever done anything. He's never cracked a big case. He's a wannabe police officer. He's just not even worth.
I think you know what Kim was saying.
Yeah, well, he should be put in prison for slander, fraud, defamation of character. I mean, when he contacted Dr. Novadine Pack, an attorney at law, and said the things that he said to him, and then he contacted Dr. Ken McCrae, and he slandered me to both those people with leading questions that really weren't questions. They were bad statements about me. That is not how you run an investigation.
Right.
And Dr. Pack confronted him, and so did Ken. And I'm thankful that they had my back.
Yeah.
So, wow, I don't even remember the guy's name anymore. That's how significant he was in my life. Do you know his name?
I don't, Joe something or other, I think.
Okay. Well, so he's up in age, a retired guy now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't there when it happened, but Kim told me about it when she got home. So, a couple weeks ago already.
Yeah. Well, the bad things that he said behind my back to a bunch of my very close, intimate friends are, I'm not even gonna say them on this line. It's that horrible. And none of it was true.
Right.
You